Welcome to Mind Prosperity. So great to have you back. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm speaking about, some keys from a book that I've written called The Art of a Mental Breakthrough. If you want to go check out this book, it's available on Amazon. Just type in my name, the name of the book, The Art of a Mental Breakthrough. And it's about this whole idea of before you get a breakthrough in life, you have to get a breakthrough in your mind. You have to get a mental breakthrough before you will see a breakthrough in real life. And I'm starting this first part of the book with emotional intelligence and building emotional intelligence. And a very important part of emotional intelligence is intrapersonal intelligence, which refers to your relationship with yourself and knowing yourself. And in today's video, I'm going to give you 4 keys to build self-awareness, as self-awareness is one of the key components of emotional intelligence. Now, self-awareness is not being aware that you exist. If self-awareness was being aware that you exist, then all of us would have been self-aware. Then a lot of animals and insects would have been self-aware. But self-awareness is a combination of metacognition. Metacognition refers to thinking about what you are thinking about. So have you ever come to that place where you evaluated your thoughts? What am I thinking? Why am I thinking it? Is this what I want to think? How do I change my thoughts? That is one part, which is called metacognition. And another part is called meta-mood. Meta-mood refers to thinking about your feelings. Are you allowing yourself to feel your emotions? What are you feeling? Why are you feeling it? Is that the way you want to feel? And how to change and navigate your emotions. And this is the combination between metacognition, the way you think about what you're thinking about, and meta-mood, the way you're thinking about your feelings. This gives you an indication to self-awareness. Ernest Hemingway said, "You can't get away from yourself by moving from one place to another." Now, I'm not against moving. I'm not against immigrating if that's what you feel like doing in your life. But if you think that moving away, immigrating, or things like that will change your life, it will change your location. But if you go with your problems, you take your problems with you, meaning if you're not self-aware, then you're going to take the same issues with you wherever you go or wherever you move. And this is why we have to look internally. We have to be self-aware, do internal healing before we can get to a place of mental breakthrough. Because if we're not emotionally at a good place, we're not going to be at a good place mentally. Because, what I've realized is that feeling triumphs thinking. A lot of the times, your emotion can overpower your thoughts, and your heart can overpower your head. And this is why dealing with your emotions, healing yourself emotionally, and being emotionally at a good place is such an important thing. And we cannot do that without good self-awareness. So the first way to build self-awareness is to be sensitive to emotional triggers. Now, what is an emotional trigger? If something happens around you and your trigger is much bigger than the event, this gives you an indication that you might have hurt in that area. So, for instance, if somebody speaks about food and you get irritated, that might be an insecurity about your weight or an insecurity about your looks. If somebody speaks about finances and you get irritated, it might be that you are insecure about where you are financially. These are just some examples. If somebody speaks about marriage and a lot of people get excited, you get irritated, that means that you might have a wounded idea of what marriage is. So in normal circumstances, some things trigger you emotionally, and the feeling or the emotional reaction is a bit bigger than what it should be. That is an emotional trigger. So being sensitive to emotional triggers encourages you to get to a place where you are aware of what's happening around you emotionally. And then number 2, and this connects to the first one, is dealing with past hurts. Because the reason why you are triggered in one area, the chances are good that you've been hurt in the past in that area. And then also emotional triggers gives you an indication to things that has been hurt, and then you can go look at the past and heal it. But we don't want to live in the past. This is not an encouragement like live in the past, stay in the past. But sometimes we have to look back and ask ourselves the question, what past events has caused hurt in our lives? And then get to a place where you heal it. Number 3, understand your authenticity. Who are you? If you don't know who you are, the world out there will tell you who you are. And if you don't know who you are, you're always going to live for the approval of other people, and you're always going to seek the affirmation of other people, because you don't affirm yourself and you don't understand your own authenticity. Authenticity refers to your uniqueness. It refers to what is uniquely you. Authenticity doesn't mean be different just for being different, or it doesn't mean to be different at all. It just means to be yourself. But you cannot be yourself if you don't know yourself, and you cannot know yourself without self-awareness. So knowing yourself is extremely important, and having the confidence to be yourself is extremely important. And then fourthly and finally, before I get there, I want to ask you to subscribe to this channel. We are trusting to go to 1,000 subscribers. Your subscription can help us to get there, and you sharing the video can help us to get there. And then remember, what I'm speaking of today is out of my book, The Art of a Mental Breakthrough. And there's a lot more information in the book, The Art of a Mental Breakthrough. And you can go check this book out on Amazon. Number 4, understand your internal and external motivations. So internal motivations refers to things that makes us happy, that gives us joy, that gives us peace, that excites us internally. External motivations speaks about things that we can physically see, physically touch, physically experience. Understanding your internal and external motivations, because there's a lot of things that are external motivations, and we believe that having these external things will help us and heal us internally, and that is not true. It might make us feel good for a short amount of time, but at the end it's not going to heal us. And sometimes we have to ask ourselves, can we be happy, can we be joyful without this external thing? And it doesn't mean that we shouldn't believe or have vision to achieve it. That's 100% fine, but we have to understand that external things won't fulfill us internally, and knowing how to separate the internal and external motivations before we combine it. And a lot of times we think something is an external motivation, but it's actually an internal motivation. Meaning a lot of times we can think, I want a relationship. It's something externally, because then I won't feel lonely anymore. But the reality is there are people who are married who feels lonely. And therefore loneliness is something that you have to go deal with internally. And understanding internal and external motivations, and understanding the reason for your internal and external motivations, will be a great help to self-awareness. And if we can master self-awareness, we have taken a big step and a big leap into mastering emotional intelligence. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you check out the book, and I'm excited to see you guys soon again. Goodbye.